See, all gold which comes off the market is imported. In this country, the dependence on precious metals is very much from outside only, in the sense we get every ounce of gold which comes into the country is an imported gold. And we don't have our own source of exploring and extracting gold. There are steps being taken, but yet not sufficient to meet our demand. Gold has always been a favored investment for households, whether as an asset class or for jewelry. So a high-pitched demand from, let us say, the domestic consumption also sees a seasonal spike during festival season, during Akshaya Tritiya and so on. We are watching it, but I'm not sure it has reached such alarming proportions given the tendency or natural things as it is in India for investing in gold, buying gold, and therefore I think it has not gone in that sense beyond a certain limit. But of course RBI will also be monitoring it. Other than that, other than typically what's happening in the Indian market, it's also important, and I'm sure you from the media would have noticed, that most countries today, particularly their central banks, are buying gold and silver and storing them. It's a tendency when you talk of Indian consumer market, Indian households. Every central bank did have some, but of late you notice that many of the central banks outside are also buying gold. So international price of gold or silver, which used to be because of China and India being large consumers of gold, largely due to domestic purchase of gold, spiking up and down. Now the spike is largely due to central banks also buying and storing. And we as importers, therefore, for our domestic consumption, which is a usual thing which happens every season, every festival, every household purchase, is affected because of the global increase in gold and silver prices, which are much beyond the usual increases and fluctuations which happen in the gold and silver market. So I'm purposely bringing in the element of the central banks outside, domestic consumption within the country, the pattern within the country of gold purchases, and the cause for that unbelievable spike in gold and silver prices, which are largely because of the investments in big numbers by central banks outside the country to store. So my observation is to bring in the central bank is for saying as to why globally it is shooting.